last week we built a journal app that does nothing, so this week we're gonna make it do something. We're gonna add a calendar function, we're gonna add a database, and we're gonna implement an algorithm that does mood analysis. So me and Christian will be working on the calendar, Lucas will be working on the database, and Corey will be working on the algorithm. We got 8 hours. Let's do it. So I got my calendar to work. It's reading from a JSON file and adding events and color coding them to this calendar right here. So yeah, it's the first step.
Now I just got to do the back end work. This is gonna be a challenge now that you're already done.
I'm not done.
The pressure is on now for me.
Cool.
Yep.
And I'm stuck. So I'm running a server. Which sounds really complicated, but it's not that complicated. But the thing is that I've done some of the same things every single time, you know, where you just sign in or register. And so I don't want to have to recreate that. So I'm trying to dig into my old code, figuring out what I was even doing. And now I'm looking at it and I'm just like confusing myself. My past self has just confused my present self. So maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. That's kind of the challenge I'm having right now. It's like, what is the fastest route I can do to save time? And by trying to do that, I'm wasting more time. So it's kind of a situation, you know?
I have no clue how to do backend. Right, so I'm just gonna shadow Lucas as he writes the backend for me, so I can do my stuff later.
What are you doing the past hour?
Oh, you think I've been doing stuff?
So for the past hours and few hours, I've just been pure coding of Kyle, helping him set up the calendar, and then also organizing some footages. It's record a lot.
So it turns out I can customize this using vCard. Still got my vCard.
What's going on, Lucas? Not working?
It's not working the way I want it to. The thing about coding is that the computer does exactly what you're wanting it to do every single time, right? So then the thing is that even though I think I'm doing it right, it's wrong. So no, I know I'm wrong.
Lunch break.
We're gonna find a building and jump off of it.
What?
Morale's low.
Slow. Yeah. Waiting for food.
Oh yeah.
Oh, squad goals.
Debugging is like being the detective in a crime movie where you're also the murderer. Words to live by.
I'm sorry, that was horrible.
You, Lucas.
Is this what happens when you use the Windows?
I hate you. This is so unnoteworthy.
Use Mac.
No.
Damn. Computer's dead. Now it's coding on the whiteboard.
This is a good idea.
Look at that.
My Windows is updating, so I need to use this all the way back again.
Classic.
You're using those
Sometimes you just gotta adapt.
All right, so I have somewhat of an update here. We have a login form here, but I'm getting the same freaking error that I got before with the cores, and I don't understand why. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do from the server. I don't understand this cores thing. If someone could explain it to me, that would be awesome. And when I read about it online, I just still can't wrap my head around it. I understand the general concept, but I can't get this specific thing to work. It's crazy. Pull my hair out.
what's going on, Lucas?
Okay, so we finally have some progress after about 4 hours, 3 hours, and the problem that it was taking me so long to solve with cores was that I actually, in reality, had solved it hours ago. But I forgot 4 characters. I forgot to put HTTP right here. I don't know how I missed it. I totally knew that I had to put HTTP right there. So I just kept making requests at something that just doesn't even, it's just broken link. Doesn't even make sense. So it was just that the entire time. And I was spending hours Googling stuff, and it was just because of that. Man,
When?
this is the stuff that like makes you want to just take your computer and just throw it out a window, you know?
I think, Kyle, could you help me with something? Something's actually wrong with my code.
Yeah, what's up?
It works.
Give an update.
It worked.
Oh, you
I don't know. It usually doesn't do that.
I totally
It-
interrupted it.
Classic.
It usually doesn't do that. So I think something's wrong. Okay, yeah. So for my update, we have more sophisticated colors. So basically, if it's green, it's positive. If it's red, it's negative. But now there's kind of like a nice little like gradient between positive and negative. So it's not just like pure green or pure red. And it looks really nice aesthetically.
Also, now when you click on the calendar entry, you can see the posts. So you have a nice little history of what you wrote throughout the days.
Update, my glasses are on, so I'm entering into the hacker mode. NANI? No, but in reality, no, start it over again. Alright, so update. We had some issues with the authentication. So I decided that I would look online to see if somebody had something where you just had all of the different services that you could authenticate an app with, and sure enough there was. It's called Hackathon Starter, which is very fitting for the name. So instead, now, when we do any of these projects, we won't have to waste all of this time trying to tie all these different pieces together. The API example, see you can integrate, they have the integration ready for each of these different services, so you don't actually have to set it up and go through the documentation to do it. You just have to get the API key, which makes things so much easier. Same with login, you can have all of these different sign-ins. And so that'll just save us a ton of time because I was literally making it from scratch. So that was what was so painful. So it should be easier now.
All right, so today we made the calendar. The calendar works great. Corey made a really cool color scheme for it. We ran into some trouble with the database, but we're in a good spot for next week.
Yeah, what Kyle was saying basically means we couldn't finish today. So
Yeah,
We continue next.
I'm gonna go home and cry probably later.
yeah.